This is the Padua Podcast Network.
Running a Fever, episode 325.
Shattering the Yo-Yo.
Attitude of Abundance. Previously on Running a Fever.
Everything I consume goes into the calorie count. I want to count it no matter what. So what I've done now that I'm cutting, I've gone back to the old plain oatmeal, maybe a little bit of Smart Balance in there, and Splenda, and that's what I have for breakfast. Dried apples and bananas are the ones that work the best. So I've been drying those, and I'll take them, and that'll be a snack. An apple is the same amount of calories as a fully hydrated apple, so 95 calories for that, like 130 or something for a banana, but natural food. So, and I might not have chips with my tacos. I may go down to 5 or go down to 3 or 4 tacos instead of 5, or all these little things add up, and it's just as easy. Man, it's just as easy. I don't know why. It's a blessing from God. Blessing from God. Because, my old behaviors are kind of addictive, they're kind of like addictive behaviors. Classic. See something, you gotta have it. A restaurant where they bring around the very tempting dessert table, just say no. Just try it once. Just say, I'm gonna say no here, and then whatever. Later, I may have something else, And a lot of times that works because the craving will often go away. It's not in front of you anymore. I want to find a plan. That's what I want. I want this to work for everybody. And, what if, the magic stops? I'll know what steps to take. Maybe I've just learned to love life as it is. Attitude of abundance. One way to do that is to have contact with people who are less fortunate than you. Got to reach out for that love. You got to give it away. That's what having an attitude of abundance is all about. Knowing that.
Abundance. It's a life changer. I was producing Patti Brunner's podcast, which you should all check out, by the way. It's called Truth of the Spirit, and she also does a YouTube video for each episode. PatriarchMinistries.com, or you can also get there from PaduaPodcastNetwork.com, where all of our podcasts reside as well. Anyway, I'm going to quote Patti here. "The person sharing a spiritual gift does not have less. We should be generous with spiritual gifts. They are not depleted by sharing or using." Father Patrick Gagnon of Encounter Ministries said, "Use what you have and he gives you more." What she's talking about, though in a different context, is an attitude of abundance. That is from Truth of the Spirit, episode 222. I'll also quote another PPN podcaster, Tom Rohr. The motto for his Wonderful Life podcast is, "All you can take with you is that which you give away." Life is not a zero-sum game. I was recently asked to choose whether I would describe myself as a glasses half empty or a glasses half full person. I said glasses half empty. You might not guess that from listening to the podcast, but there are a lot of times when I tend to look only at the empty half of the glass. That leads to a feeling that I'm missing something, that I never seem to have enough, and I have nothing to give away. But when I look at the world, the other people who have less, who are less fortunate in some way, then I recognize what I have. Sometimes it helps to keep a gratitude list handy. The things on mine would be things like, I have so much to eat, I have to be careful not to eat too much. Many people in the world are constantly hungry. I have water right in my house anytime I want it. Some people in the world have to walk miles to fetch water every day and can only bring back what they can carry and have to do the same thing the following day. But there are other things that are not so basic either. I have a car that's paid off. Many people, perhaps most people who have a car, also have a loan on it. Soon I realized that I am rich, relatively speaking, and this is only the material things. What about my friends, my family, my faith? These are the real important things, the real valuable things. Being a miser is a terrible, sad way to live. There is abundance in the world, and I am swimming in it. And if I continue to love my life the best I can, it will continue to be lovable. I hope you love your life today, and I hope you've enjoyed this episode. If you got the fever, keep it. If you don't, catch the fever, and I will talk to you next time on Running a Fever.